Smarter Agent Training. Here we go. We are getting into the art of negotiation today. There's three pieces of this that we're going to discuss. Managing the negotiation by knowing who you're working with. That's a big part. What to say when. Current market, daily challenges, things we run into and we have to negotiate. And it's always a moving target. That's the fun part about what we do. But we're going to have to go at a pretty quick clip to get this through in a timely manner. Art of negotiation begins with knowing who you're working with. There are four major personality types to consider. And notice that this is in app files under building successful relationships and coaching and education guides. So, number one, amicable. Amicable clients, they're nice, they're warm, they're sincere, very likable. They want to touch you a little bit, might even give you a hug. Qualities you'll notice are active listeners. They like friendly, close relationships, even with their real estate agent. So here's the deal. If you don't reciprocate that, they're going to look for somebody else that will and that affirms who they are. They're very patient. So the sellers in the market where it takes a while to sell, they're okay with that. Warm and approachable, agreeable, dependable, very quiet, hardly ever cause problems to the client as long as you follow through with your promises and commitments. If you don't, they go, well, what happened? Don't you like me anymore? It's really amazing how quickly they'll also get sad. They rely on their feelings to make decisions, so they need to like you. Relates best to expressive and amicable agents. Of course, I'm very expressive, so there's that. They have a lot in common. Analytical, not so much because they're systematic and organized, which creates security for them with that agent. So they're good with that too. They'll not be as comfortable with driver agents. I can be accused of that one too. I do like to push to get things done. Things just keep in mind. They like to have others reinforce their decisions. They want to talk to someone about their decision to buy or sell, especially the single client and customers. It's just the way it works. They love education. Education makes them feel more knowledgeable and confident. I think that every buyer is really that way, except for maybe the driver, because they're super confident. Your education is a factor in their decision to choose you as their agent. Be sure that you express that type of value to these people, or again, they won't know to choose you. They're uncomfortable telling you that they're unhappy because they don't like to complain. So you've got to watch for facial things. Don't just do everything over text, or you're going to miss the cues. And they want to avoid the conflict, which means they may not tell you their true objection or exactly how they're feeling. They have a strong desire to be liked, which means they need to feel comfortable with you. They avoid risk and resist change. They move slow. It's a cautious pace. May try to use the stalling phrase, I want to think about it, because they're basing things on their feelings. What your amicable buyers and sellers need. Motivated by security. What guarantees can you offer them? As a listing agent, of course, you want to give them your, here's what I'll do. Please follow and check along to make sure I do these things. Again, if you give them an action plan, make sure you follow it because they're going to be running it and putting check marks beside it. They need strong support systems that make them feel secure. They want to see that written plan of action. They're very concerned about what others think, so staging tips are important, but you also have to be very careful that you don't offend. You need to ask for their opinions and make them feel important. Offer systems that build confidence. They like success stories, so be sure and share them with them. Stats, statistics, results, and that's success. You should smile often. Look for common ground. Listen and be empathetic to their concerns. If working with a couple, they'll usually let you know the other person makes the decision. So if so, ask how that person feels about the decision. They consider financial matters very private. So when you get into the finance stuff, you just lower your voice a little bit because you're going to need to know about their finances and where they're headed. And of course, I got the quietest quietest whisper award. I can be heard from a mile away even when I whisper, but it is what it is. They're emotional decision makers. Don't forget that. Your presentation should move slowly and precise. If they offer you a cup of coffee or water when you come in and meet with them, take it. They're entertaining you then, right? More expressive clients. These are more outgoing. They're the talkative ones, the ones you can't wait to meet at a party because they're just fun to be around. Strong people skills, open, talkative, natural tendency to smile, and put people at ease. All of us need to work at being sure we keep putting people at ease when we're working with them. They're good at developing friends and loyalty, very approachable, strong intuition, and also very emotional. Operates at a fast pace, so you can do several things at once. Dramatic performers exaggerate their things. They're spontaneous, though. Hey, you want to go out to lunch? Let's do it now. They're feelings oriented. So add fun and energy to an office or a party. It's what they do. Like to play hard, work hard, and are very competitive. They tolerate driver agents, but they can be easily frustrated with analytical agents who have a tendency to give them too many facts and are not friendly enough. They have a very strong drive and are very ambitious and considered naturals in sales. So it's just a matter of quick and easy to make friends. That's a good way to do well in sales. However, things to keep in mind, they're not necessarily disciplined with their time. They're going to be late. They lack focus and usually undertake several tasks at the same time. You need to give them very specific instructions and deadlines when you're working with them. Even when they need to sign an agreement with you that, hey, I need this right back, or can you have this back to me in an hour? I have to have this signed with a buyer before I can even show you the property, so do it now. They don't know how to say no. They have lots of ideas on how to do things, and they want to do everything. They develop a strong following and have a strong sphere of influence. This is the best client to get referrals from. If they like you, they're going to refer you to everybody. They tend to fly by the seat of their pants, though, but everything always seems to come out okay. It's so interesting when you start going through these and recognizing the different kind of people we work with. What's your expressive seller and buyer's needs? They need to like you and trust you. That's starting to sound kind of familiar with each of these. They need to like you and trust you. But this one, you should smile, chit chat with them. Small talk is welcome. Again, if you're meeting with them at their home, sit down, accept that cup of coffee. Plan on the fact that it's going to be a 2-hour meeting. It's okay. Again, you're sitting there and you're going to be making money in the end, but you need to let them know that you're welcome in their home and happy to be there. They like success stories also, and visuals that show you results. They appreciate eye contact. Bring some things in print copy. They're very loyal, will always recommend you to others. However, once they lose respect for you or they don't trust you, you've lost them completely, and they don't easily forget. So if something gets misconstrued, you need to make sure and confront it immediately with them. And that would be by picking up the phone or, hey, can we please get together and get a cup of coffee? I want to talk this through with you because I think we had a misunderstanding. You got to get there immediately. If you don't, you give them an overnight to think about it, they're not going to forget it. Just as agents produce best when they're happy, if you're very positive and upbeat with your client, they'll be more comfortable with you. Keep the presentation moving fast, though. The more they talk, the better your results would be. Ask questions and get feedback. Ask questions such as, what can I do? What do we need to do? Always ask them for referrals. If they're happy, go out to dinner with them, whomever they referred. It's so important. Give housewarming gifts that'll be displayed. Cause them to think about you. They're emotional decision makers, so they base their decision on how you feel about them as a person. So it's so much more than money to them. So again, be sure you chit chat with them, you hang out with them, you make them feel wanted and that you like them. Now comes the interesting one. This is typically the guy that comes up and they shake their hand, and you're wondering, will they squeeze their? Okay, they just put their hand in yours oftentimes. They're usually, it's very rare to get very strong people that are analytical, at least strong physically. But you're going to get CPAs, engineers, very organized and methodical clients. They're the best planners, organizers, task-oriented, and work best with a plan. If you don't have a plan to present them with, you've lost them. So you need to. They're time disciplined, work well alone, and perform best when they can get time to get organized. So again, time disciplined. Be there early if you have an appointment. They will be. And I'm not talking 5 minutes, be there 15 minutes early, and they're probably going to be rushing to make sure that they get there that early because they want to beat you there. They love education and are always looking for ways to expand their knowledge. They are detail and technology oriented, so they enjoy collecting facts and data. They're patient and willing to wait for the right home or the right price. So that might drive some of you nuts, but plan on the fact that it's got to be the right home and it's got to be the right price, and they're going to find something wrong with every home. So you've got to help them work through that, or maybe get them a new home. Things to keep in mind. They sometimes overdo the problem-solving process and strive for perfection. That part drives a lot of people crazy, but you just have to work with it. And again, when you know that that's what they do and that they're very serious about it and they're not going to warm up to people quickly, you just need to accept that and then work with them and do the show me, prove it. That's the attitude with those they want to be around. They sometimes spend too much time planning, which leads to procrastination with tasks. It's hard sometimes to get them to pull the trigger and get things done. They don't feel comfortable working with an agent until they've learned everything they need to know. So don't get caught without the answers. Provide them with the more data, the better. The more things you give them, the happier they are. They like stability and security. They're very stable and don't move very often. So in other words, they get in that right house. They're going to recommend you if you've done these things properly, but they're probably not moving anytime soon. So again, know that their opinions also aren't very easily swayed, and they want to get their price. They usually question policies and can appear challenging, but in reality, they're just trying to get their head around all of the facts and logic. They don't need to like you to make business decisions that are backed up with facts, data, and statistics. That's what they need: facts, data, and statistics. Come armed for bear with them. If they are a listing or a seller, be sure that you have tons of facts, data, and statistics, and be prepared to have them challenged. They're going to ask you questions about them. Be prepared to prove whatever you say, and don't say, trust me. They don't want to trust you. They want to trust the facts. So the best thing you can do is, hey, I didn't determine this price myself. I based it off of the statistics and data that we have, right? So be prepared to prove whatever you say. Give them your computer printouts to prove your opinion of value. Be prepared for them. They want to look at every bit of information you leave, and they want you to leave before they make a decision. Don't smile and try to win them over and keep it professional. Don't try and get them to sign that night. You can ask. I mean, I always ask, but you need to make sure and understand the fact that they're going to want time to process this, and your facts should be focused. It should be your focus. Okay, so now this kind of comes down to my personality for those of you that know me. A driver, it's the strongest personality. They can be in charge, have definite ideas about how things should be done, be very straight and businesslike with this client. Understand that they're not going to joke around when it comes to certain things. They'll like to kid around with you, but there's not going to be any bull either. They're going to tell you what they're thinking. Very task-oriented, self-controlled, goal-oriented. The processes of great leadership qualities. It just is. They're assertive, fact-oriented, and they move at a fast pace to get straight to the point. All right, I'm not always straight to the point by any means. So that's where you realize, oh, sometimes you're going to see multiple personality pieces that come together. So for me, yeah, I'm an expressive driver. It is what it is. It's a very interesting thing, and we have self-tests on those we can let you have. They initiate action and possess a business-like attitude. Self-starters, and usually in business for themselves because they like being in control. They usually work alone and can be misunderstood in business and social settings because of that. However, things you should keep in mind. They're impatient with delays. Oftentimes poor listeners because their mind's already on to the next thing when you're still back here talking about the discussion at hand. They're thinking about four other discussions. They can't sit long and want to get things done their way. Competitive, ambitious, driven, and want results fast. They'll appear agitated sometimes. You don't get straight to the point. They're going to get bored quickly. They don't smile all the time. That doesn't mean they don't like you. Your driver, sellers, and buyers' needs. Quick results. They expect you to be available when they need you. So you can't just ignore their texts and calls. You need to let them know, hey, I'll get back with you in 15 minutes, or I'm sorry, I'm in an appointment right now. I should be freed up by 12:01. You better be calling them by 12:02, or they're going, what the heck? Yeah, they'll respect you if you have high standards and stick to them as long as they feel in control. They get along well with expressive agents as long as they aren't too distracting. They aren't patient with amicable patients, it should be buyers, or analytical agents. If they move too slow, again, it's all a pace thing with them. They want to hear the details and the money first. You know, one of those, where do I sign? Don't bore me with the facts. Presentations should be quickly using facts and details that can be verified, but they really want to know what's the bottom line. No small talk. Keep it professional. Have your game face on. They're logical decision makers and must respect you to work with you.